All right, listen up. So, right now I am in your calc folder, but what's different? I am no longer going into the handouts assignments place. I am going to AP exam prep, okay? In AP exam prep, it looks like it loaded, Yvette. I have the video that we watched together yesterday, Calculus in 20 minutes, if you ever want to refer back to that. Practice exams, this was from earlier on in the year during the Christmas time when I gave you guys a practice exam. But then we have laying the foundation reviews, which is specifically what you have in front of you. The first one I've loaded that way. I don't put them all up there and you guys get overwhelmed with which one's which. So every time there's a new review, I'll just add on the next one that I'm handing out to you. This first one, limits and continuity. The nice thing is, for the most part, the reviews are going to go in order that we went this year. So you know approximately where to be looking in your composition book, right? Is it going to be helpful to go back and review maybe some of the limits and continuity stuff that we did together? Yes. But is it also probably a good idea just to kind of recap what's going on to get ready for their problems by just seeing what's in these boxes? Does that make sense? And if you guys notice anything that's not in our forevers that you think might need to go into our forevers or maybe should be added in our forevers, let me know. I'm always kind of changing, improving, taking something out, putting something in that I think will be helpful for the forever cards. So it talks about the different types of definitions of the limit, and then it talks about continuity. Ooh, nice, with an example all the way solved out. Now, what starts, limits to infinity? Or those would be horizontal asymptotes, I think. These would be one-sided limits, two-sided limits. Okay, so here on page 6, what's going on? We have problems. Lots of practice problems. Now, are practice problems good? The answer is yes. But what's even better than these practice homework type problems? Turn to page number 8. Ooh. Multiple choice. Turn to page number 8. Multiple choice, specifically dealing with limits and continuity. Now, sadly, just starting last year, the AP narrowed down from 5 choices to 4 choices. So now on the AP exam, there's only letters A through D. But there are very few materials that show that, and any materials that do show that were kind of hastily put together to try to be, we're on the cutting edge of the AP exam. Some of the tried and true resources are a little bit better. So anyway, all that to say, there are going to be a couple differences, like A through D is going to be what's on your actual multiple choice for the mock exam. Definitely for your actual exam. So that's something that will be different, but still, it's good practice to have some multiple choice questions dealing with limits. After the multiple choice questions, what else do you notice? Takes a little while, right? Free response number 1, the free response are numbered. Free response number 1 and free response number 2. Okay. Are there a lot of questions in this packet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the practice good?
Yeah.
Very good. Does your packet end with FRQ number 2?
Yes.
Mine doesn't, because what comes next?
The key.
Oh. The key of the practice problems, the key of the multiple choice, and the keys of the free response. Now, good news, these free response are scored like our free response will be on the AP, meaning I have, 2 and 2 makes 4, and then 5. This is out of 9 points like every AP FRQ. The bad news is this was not written by the AP College Board. So even though I'm going to have you practice with these FRQs, because it does make you review some of the content, we are definitely not going to end with these FRQs, because AP released FRQs will obviously give us maybe a bit better of an idea of exactly the type of wording, etc., that you will see. Here's Dilio. There are going to be, I think, a total of 9 to 11 of these reviews, somewhere in there. In general, they're going to be due the next day, but listen. We're going to probably have some class time to work on them, number 1. And number 2, what's actually due the next day are only the odds. If you have all the odds attempted, you will not be turning this physically into me. We'll be doing spot checks on the day that they're due. You guys will be able to ask me questions on problems that you already graded and you don't know why the answer is what it is, etc. Probably, I would say, still maintaining the procedure of grading with a colored pen. That way you see your weaknesses, etc. But only the odds will be due. But that's a shame, because then the evens are good practice too, right? So the evens will be due basically at any point in time before the AP exam for extra credit. in your test quiz category, 2 points each packet of evens. Okay? Well, so what's due the next day every time you get a packet? Odds. Fully attempted and graded so that you know what the answers are and you have questions. And guys, couldn't you try to maybe work through some of the wrong answers on your own before coming to class? Yeah. Just saying, that'd probably be wise. So you're going to be working on odds. As you work on the odds, should you probably go back in your notes and review these topics? Good idea. Check your forever cards. Make sure that what's on there makes sense. See if you want to add anything to your forever cards for your own personal studying benefit. Come in the next day with the odds. We'll go over questions on the odds and evens. You can check with me anytime. You can be like after school, hey, look, I finished all the evens. Can you mark down my bonus for this one? I'll be like, sure, cool, let's go. But the evens are due at any point before the AP exam. Maggie? Oh, definitely. Mark it up. Just like the AP exam, right all over it. But pause. Where are you going to find the answer key? There? The office is already mad at me with how much they copy from me at this time of year. So instead of there, you got to look online for the answer key. Sound good? Okay, so what or how are you going to spend the rest of today? Finishing your corrections first for Chapter 5, right? Some of you had quite a few corrections. Some of you guys had quite a few questions and got stuck if you were doing them on your own. So first, finish your corrections, staple them, turn them in the back. Second, be very, very thankful that the majority of Period 1 are seniors who were in their assembly today, and so they missed class. They didn't get this packet, and so I can't necessarily have it due tomorrow. However, what would be a very wise choice for you to do in class for the remainder of the time that you might have? Start it. Now, could you start the odds and the evens? I suppose, but what would I probably suggest as far as your mental sanity? Start with the odds, and if you finish it, cool. If you have extra time, go evens, and if you don't, oh well, at least you have the odds done. Sound good? Not too many. They just take a little bit of time. Ready? Set? Let's work for the rest of class. Sound good? All right, if you have any questions on things, come find me. Otherwise, I'm stopping the video. Sean, hope you get feeling better. And who else is absent? Anyone else who's gone? Oh, Deba, you're gone. Bye.